Hi everyone, in this video we're going to take a tour of the new failure system in the Lear35 for MSFS 2024. The big thing to know up front is that the tablet is where you control everything. This is the main hub for managing failures, setting timers, and doing repairs. Our tablet-based failure system is designed for free flight and works regardless where you purchase the aircraft. Career mode support is a separate MSFS feature, and for career mode use, the SIM requires marketplace ownership licensing for the aircraft. So if career mode integration matters to you, the marketplace version is the one to get. If career mode isn't a priority, buying direct from us helps support development more directly and typically means faster updates, since marketplace updates can take longer to roll out. First, if you don't want failures at all, no problem. You can completely disable the entire failure system right from the options page. And to make sure nobody gets confused, if you open the failure page while it's disabled, you'll get a very obvious message that tells you it's turned off. You can't miss it, so you'll never be wondering why nothing is happening. Next up is the most important part, save state. This system keeps track of your accumulated hours over time, so you can treat it like a real aircraft that ages as you fly it. You can build up months or years of usage if you want, and it just doesn't reset by accident. The only way to truly wipe that accumulated time is using reset defaults, and we put safeguards around it. When you click it, you'll get a warning and a short countdown style confirmation so you don't accidentally erase everything. That reset brings your accumulated hours back to zero and resets the MTBF times back to defaults. Right next to that, there's also a separate button that simply clears all active failures at once. You can use that at any time, but we recommend treating that like maintenance, something you typically do at the hangar, because it's basically repair everything. This does not affect your accumulated times or reset your MTBF custom times. It simply removes all failures at once. If you want to repair only one thing, you can do that. Use the 3-position filter toggle from hide to show all to failures. When you switch to failures, you'll see what's currently failed and you can select individual items and repair them one by one. You can also repair these failures from the show all list as well. Now let's talk about modes. The first mode is MTBF, mean time between failures. This is the ownership style mode where the failures happen over time based on how much you fly. In MTBF, you also get a multiplier slider that goes from 1x all the way up to 1000x. So if you don't want to wait forever to see failures, you can speed things up. That multiplier only applies to the MTBF mode, and it will be hidden in the UI when in other modes. In MTBF mode, you can also change the timing per item. Everything is grouped by category in the left column so it's easy to understand, and you can use the category filter button to narrow the list so you're not staring at a giant wall of failures. If you want to instantly test something, you can click the status button to fail an item on purpose, and if you want to revert an item back to its default timing, you can click the time field to restore defaults, or use the plus and minus buttons to fine tune it. All of those settings are save state too. Next is the speed mode, and this one is amazing for training. You can arm a failure to trigger based on airspeed, either within a range or above a certain speed, all the way up to 350 knots. A perfect example is practicing a V1 cut. If your V1 is around, say, 130 knots for takeoff weight, you can set an engine failure to hit right at the speed so you can practice a V1 engine failure on demand. And the last mode is schedule mode. This lets you trigger failures based on the time instead of the hours or speed. You can schedule failures in 5-minute increments all the way up to 350 minutes, which makes it great for longer flights. You can also set a time range, like 30 minutes to 190 minutes, and the system will pick a random time inside that range each time. So it's never predictable. Once you set your range, you arm it and then the timer starts. When it triggers, it'll show a failed, and from there you can either clear it immediately or leave it until you do maintenance. Totally up to you. That's the overall layout. One place to control everything, multiple modes depending on how you want to simulate failures, strong safeguards so you don't lose your progress, and easy options for maintenance, repairs, testing, and training. One last note, there are 179 circuit breakers, and out of those, 176 can fail. When you change the MTBF time for any of the breakers, the MTBF time changes for all of them. The way MTBF works is when the time is higher than 75% of that time, it randomly picks a time in the last 25%. Also, every time a circuit breaker fails, the MTBF time clock starts again to fail another, even if you do not reset that breaker. At MTBF 300 and the slider at 1000X, a circuit will fail every 18 minutes. So be careful if you decide to crank up the slider. I would suggest to also increase the MTBF time. The good news is you only have to set one and you will visually see all the MTBF times change for breakers only.